I just don't like the proportions on it.
Now,
like,
I do like, again, there's a lot of detail on this. It looks really, really nice as a straight build.
There's some other
throws off the whole design.
Proportions,
I don't know, I'm
that's
not
the
sure
one
I like
that really
that.
sticks out to me, and
This
it bugs
truly
me
is an
'cause
impressive model for such an obscure model. But unfortunately, the wonky proportions keep it from being one of my favorites.
Yeah, well, I changed my mind. Hello and welcome to Channel 2S. I'm your host, Second Soundwave, and as you can see, we are unboxing the lovely GM Sniper 2, one of the newest master grade models from Bondi. Yes, I went on and on and on about the proportions on this kit and how I thought they made it look weird and how I didn't like it and I wasn't going to get it. And then I saw a few painted builds of this. I thought, hey, you know what? This looks pretty darn cool. And it's a GM that's also a sniper, and I love that, and I like the high grade, so hey, why not get the master grade? So as you just saw, the box art on this kit is absolutely awesome. And my favorite part of it, hands down, is the tip of the rifle barrel. I love that orange glow they put around it and the little wisps of smoke coming out. That is just perfect. I love seeing that level of detail and realism on my box art. So as always, on the side of the box, working up from the bottom, we have a couple front and back images of the completed model. In this corner, we even have a couple little detail callouts showing off the head unit and the swappable fingers. Further down the box, we have a quick look at this kit's weaponry, and also some of the gimmicks we're going to be getting with the shield. It looks like we will be getting a little generic Federation pilot for the cockpit, which is a little surprising since this is a grunt mobile suit, but it's still a nice touch. And as is the norm with master grades, we will be getting both marking stickers and dry transfer decals. Just above that, we have some quick little bullet points briefing you on the basics of this model. And by the way, since I didn't mention it earlier, this is one of the newer kits, which means everything is translated into English, so if you want to pause on any of these little blurbs and read them yourself, you can go right ahead. So moving on to the other side of the box, we have a shot of the sniper in its most iconic pose. A quick call out for this guy's very impressive looking leg articulation. Another little sub window here showing off that he will also have pretty awesome looking neck articulation as well. And his shoulders look like they have a lot of movement too. This guy's just going to be articulation city. And the posability doesn't end there because it looks like this guy's also got a notable amount of torso movement. Above that, we have another shot of the mobile suit up in the air, and with all that articulation, this is a kit you could have a lot of fun posing. Just to the right of that, we have a picture of the completed but unpainted model. And then finally, all the legal crap no one cares about. So inside this box are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 bags of parts. Don't worry guys, the Astray is A-okay. And then in the bottom of the box, we have the instruction manual. The only thing that's noticeably absent in this box is that little multilingual sheet of paper that Bluefin has been slipping in with recent high-grade releases that gives you a little bit of preliminary information on building if you're a beginner. I guess they assume that since this is a master grade model, you already have some basic skills down, so you don't need one for this kit. So right on the top of the first bag, we have the A-Runner. And the A-Runner is a multicolored runner, with the first color being a very interesting shade of reddish-orange that I can't quite describe and is fortunately coming clear across fairly well in the camera, so what you're seeing right here is pretty much what you get with the model. The bulk of the runner is cast in a very dark, nice-looking navy blue. There's another little orange piece over here all on its own for some odd reason. And then in the bottom corner we have some really cool-looking translucent green parts for the optics on the head. Then we got a tiny little polycap sheet, and some long pink beam saber effect parts. The B runner has some more of that lovely looking navy blue, and then the C runner introduces another shade of blue, this time much lighter than the one before. And judging by the shape of these armor pieces, it looks like this guy's going to have a very similar forearm construction to the way that the hips are constructed on some newer high grades, where the armor's a single solid piece that slides over the frame. The next bag just has a bunch of little gray runners of no real significance. They're just frame bits. They're going to just be making up basically all the internal parts on this model. And we're starting off the next bag with another one of those just general gray frame piece runners. And then judging by the fact that the next runner is labeled WP, It appears that this is a generic weapons runner for use with future Federation master grades. The G runner holds 2 green pieces for the main sniper rifle, and already I'm kinda not digging how vertical they made the handle on this guy's rifle. It is supposed to be pretty horizontal. The next bag is going to be started off with a generic hand runner taken from the master grade Age 1 normal, followed up by even more frame parts. Look at all that frame. And the last of the runners for this kit are 2 identical D runners cast in a light blue plastic, and these are the parts that are going to be making up the majority of the armor for this model. And on this armor runner, as well as many other runners in this kit, there are several different points where Bondi could cut off the plastic running into the mold and make different kinds of runners. They could cut this part off, they could add stuff here, they could add things all over the place. And what that means is that Bondi has a lot of plans for this mold, and hopefully we'll be seeing quite a few more GMs and other Federation mobile suits in the future. And then lastly, we have a little bag including all 3 kinds of markings. So we have the foil stickers for the optics, we have some dry transfer decals with some numbers on them, and then behind that we have a sticker sheet with just some general marking stickers. It looks like these are pretty much just little Federation logos and things like that. Yeah, this is basically just a bunch of little details for if you want to make your kit look a little more detailed and intricate and possibly more realistic as well. And as always, we're going to wrap this up with a look at the manual. First page has some story information, followed by a little more information on the GM. Here's a closer shot of that for those interested. You can go ahead and pause right now if you want to read this up. It looks pretty interesting. Then we got a little bit of information about the GM Sniper 2 itself, and some more over here on this page, and then even more next to that. Then surrounding that, we got some black and white pictures of the same images we saw on the side of the box. And then over here, the majority of this page is basically a big old Federation Mobile Suit genealogy chart. So over here we have the Operation V trio. Then we have the Ground Gundam, the Ground GM, the GM Commander Space Type, the GM Sniper Custom, a few others down here, and then all of these lead up to the GM Sniper 2, the star of the show. In the middle of the manual, there's a large color spread. Up here we got a pretty awesome photoshopped image of the GM Sniper 2. Below it we have a bit of story information relating to 0080 War in the Pocket. It's very long and I can't fit all of this in the camera, but I will do my best for those of you that want to try and read this. Okay, how about that? That's about as good as I can get, so you can pause on there and read it if you can. And then below that, we have a handy-dandy painting guide for those of you that love painting your master grades. And another painting guide for the pilot figurine. We've got a little box down here telling you to panel line your models, which is a very good idea. And then up here we have a pretty cool diagram that shows the GM Sniper 2 with part of its inner frame exposed. This is actually really cool to see, as they've kind of stopped doing this with master grades recently, as more recently they've kind of dropped the half inner frame exposed thing as it's become a more normal part of the master grade line. But earlier master grades always included a picture like this where they would show you the frame half on, half off. We got some up close and personal detail shots of the back, the legs, the arms, the torso, and of course the head. And then on the back of the manual we have a full-sized image of a GM Sniper 2 that has been painted, panel lined, top coated, and had all that good stuff done to it, and it looks pretty awesome. So there you go, guys. That was a pretty big unboxing, since this guy is, of course, a master grade, so we have a lot of parts here to go through. As you can see, the manual is just totally buried under all these parts. There are so many runners here, and that is awesome. And yeah, I am really looking forward to building this kit. I'm going to start on it as soon as I can. But right now, we've reached the end of this video, so if you enjoyed this, as always, be sure to leave a like. And if this is your first time on Channel 2S, I'm Second Soundwave, and I make all sorts of Gunpla related videos. They're pretty cool, they're pretty awesome, so be sure to subscribe if you want to see more of that. And I've also started live streaming recently, so if you don't want to miss my next live stream, be sure you hit that notification bell to stay up to date. And as always, I'm your host, Second Soundwave, and I'll see you next time.